So thinking more specifically about religious beliefs and rituals, right? Beliefs are what you think the religion's about. Rituals are how you practice the religion. Because Egyptians travel everywhere by boat, really, because Egypt is all along the Nile, virtually nobody lives that far away from the Nile. They also believed that the sun god Ra, Ra, the sun god Ra, would travel by boat. Again, so their geography is really influencing the way they think about their religion. They think that the sun travels from east to west and sets in the west by traveling by boat into the western desert. The beliefs of the Egyptians were that people would undergo a similar journey. They would pass into the underworld. The underworld was ruled by the god Osiris, and the underworld was the place where people would go after they died. In order to make it into the afterlife, they would have to cross the river. So what would happen is that the person, this is the Egyptian belief, religion, the dead person would have to undergo a trial in order to make it into the afterworld. You have to go in before Osiris and some other gods and make sure that they are able to pass the test in a moment of judgment. Very much like Christian belief has a judgment day. Many Christian faiths have a judgment day, that when you die, you go to the afterworld to be judged. So to get into the what's called the Hall of Two Truths, where you would be, where you would have the opportunity to be judged, you had to recite magic words from the Book of the Dead. You had to know these. So in that way, the Book of the Dead was a very important text for the Egyptians to know. They knew this so that when they got there and they were asked to recite the Book of the Dead, they would be able to know them, know these passages so they could get into the Hall of Two Truths. In the Hall of Two Truths, okay, I'm skipping over a little bit. In the Hall of Two Truths, a person would deny that they did any wrong in their life. They don't ask for forgiveness. They just claim that they must claim that they never did anything wrong. Okay, so it's a little bit different than maybe some more contemporary versions of gods or God. This is the gods of the Egyptian gods were what gods that would punish you for wrongdoing. So you would claim that you had done no wrong before Osiris and a number of other gods and other judges. If you, the Anubis, the god Anubis, sorry, I'm skipping around a little bit. The god Anubis would test your claim by balancing your heart against the feather of truth on a scale. And this would tell just how pure your heart was. If you were pure of heart, you would make it into the afterlife. If you were not and you failed on the scales, the devourer, part lion, part crocodile, part hippopotamus, would swallow you up. And you would just never make it to the afterworld. This is also, this belief, this sort of evil figure, I guess, in the Egyptian religion is also related to their geography. They would have had contact with crocodiles. Crocodiles are in the Nile. Hippopotamus would also be in the Nile, and those are actually can be quite. They look, if you've ever seen them in a zoo or something like that, they're quite gentle looking, but they're actually quite fierce creatures. And a hippopotamus would make quick work of a person. So they're fearsome as a crocodile. And of course, a lion is a fearsome creature too. And lions, they would have had some awareness and knowledge of lions being on the African continent for sure. So this whole fearful deity, fearful god, is all part of their geography too, the animals in their surroundings. The head of the Anubis is a jackal. Jackals are all over Egypt as well. It's kind of like a dog. A jackal's a wild animal that's sort of like a wild dog, kind of like a wolf. So again, there's lots and lots of animals everywhere throughout Egyptian religious beliefs, and that's not surprising. They pulled the animals from their experience, from their geography. So finally, if you were able to pass through the, if you were able to pass and beat the devourer, you would move on to the afterlife. If not, you'd be devoured, and your name would be recorded by the scribe of the gods Thoth, and that would be it. You would never really be heard from again in the afterworld.